Leah one more time, everybody. All right, listen, first things first, I want to give an honor to God who's the head of my life because God is the source. Without him, I am nothing. Without him, we are nothing. And if we could do anything without him, we wouldn't want to do that anyway. So God is the source of everything in our lives. I want to secondly thank all my speakers. I'm so proud of y'all. They've been through a 10, 12 weeks of rehearsing, practicing, dealing with the execution coach, and I'm telling you, I am a stickler for certain things. So I pushed them, and you all did an amazing job. It is not easy to do what you did up here. And there are so many people in this world who want to take that step. There's people in this room who are now inspired because of you. So I just want to thank you for what you all have done today, the seeds you have planted. And I can assure you, at our next conference, you're going to see somebody else in this room because of some of the words that you said, all right? So let's clap it up for the speakers one more time. And then lastly, let's clap it up for yourselves because you could have been anywhere in the world if you decided to spend this time with us, all right? So listen, I'm extremely blessed. I've been doing this for quite some time all over the world. I'm extremely grateful. Derek, I appreciate you, good brother. I don't know where he went. There he is right there. Planting that seed inside of us, I needed it. So I'm sure if I needed it, somebody else in this world needed it. So let's not forget about our headline. Let's clap it up for Derek again, too. It's very important to give gratitude. It's very important to give gratitude because in the world that we live in today, people don't have to do anything for you. And at the age of 31, I'm extremely blessed because I have people who are willing to invest in my vision, support my vision, be a part of the platforms and the things I've created from scratch. When I've been told my whole life to shut up, I wouldn't be anything, I'll never amount to nothing, and then I can look at packed out rooms, just show me how great God is. So I want to ask you all three questions, and if you've never heard me speak before, listen, you might want to take your phones out because I didn't come here to play with y'all today. I'm about to speak to your soul, and the things that I need you to write down is truly going to help you not just today, but throughout the rest of these months and these years because we all know we're dealing with a lot of trying times, right? So let me ask y'all the first question. By the show of hands, how many of you all know exactly when you're going to die? I figured I'd get that response. Now, by the show of hands, how many of you all want to become the best version of yourself? Like the best version of yourself? Look around you, every hand was raised. Now, I feel like we got a real crowd in here today. So I want y'all to be real with me. Don't lie because y'all looking good and people just in the room. I know how we are when we come together, Jazz. Everybody got it together. No, not today. I need y'all to be honest. How many of y'all can say that every single day of your life, you're doing what's necessary to become the best version of yourself? By the show of hands, every day, you're doing what's necessary to become the best version of yourself. Look around. Now, I came here today to connect some dots for y'all. Because on one hand, we don't know when we're going to die. On the other hand, we all want to become the best version of ourselves. But then on the other hand, we're not doing what's necessary to become the best version of ourselves every day, Doc. There's a disconnect there. So I'm going to give you all a few tips that I want you to write down today on how you can actually connect those dots and execute at a high level. A little bit about me. I'm born from Detroit, Michigan, 48205. The infamous zip code of 48205. And people say, Keyon, why you always claim your zip code to be infamous? Because in the last decade, 48205 has made it on the top 10 worst listed neighborhoods to live in the United States of America. They say children from my zip code were struggling in elementary, middle, and high school. More likely to involve themselves in drugs, violence, and physical activity at an early age. Less likely to receive a high school diploma, and even more less likely to obtain a college degree. By the age of 21, they would have anywhere between 1 to 3 children. And by the age of 25, a criminal background or dead. Now I stand before you all at the age of 31, letting y'all know I'm a proud product of 48205, and I'm not a statistic. Let's clap it up for that, everybody. Yeah. I'm an international speaker, a best-selling author, 2-time award-winning bodybuilder, because I believe that when you look good, you feel good. And when you feel good, you produce better results in life. I also like the way putting these tailored suits on make me look going through the stores now. Started my own nonprofit organization. It's called Family, which stands for Forget About Me, I Love You. And I'm also the CEO and founder of 1% Better. We're a holistic growth and development company, and I'm proud to say that we have impact in 15 plus countries in over 34 states. Little boy from 48205, who they said would never be anything, never amount to anything. But I'm here today to let each and every one of you all know, no matter how dark your past was, you have the ability to make your future as bright as you want it to be. So I'm gonna give you all a few tips. I already gave you the first one. God has to be the source of your life. God has to be the source of your life. Why? The equation is simple. God is the creator. You all are the creation. The more intimate you become with God, the more mature your spiritual walk gets, you will learn what you were created to do. If we are walking around trying to create plans with just our own minds, Jeremiah 29, his plans are not our plans. So even when he shifts your plan, you'll get frustrated if you're not realizing that God has a better plan for you than you have for yourself. Tip number 2. I want y'all to write this down. I got something for you. I got some money to give away today. If anybody can finish this sentence for me, I'm going to give them $20, and I promise you I won't be giving out another $20, so don't get too excited about this thing here. What you believe you will. Oh, gee, I'm putting my little thing. I'm going to do it one more time. What you believe you will. Oh, Jesus Christ. It started with a B, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Who said it? There we go. Oh, she said it first. I didn't hear it. Let's clap it up for her, everybody. Did you say it the first time? I trust you. That's Leah's daughter. I'm going to give her a hard time. Listen. Point number 2. It starts with your belief system. What you believe you will become. If you believe you'll be successful, you will be. You believe you'll be a failure, you will be. The choice is yours. But what's the point of writing down a goal if you don't believe in it? What's the point of creating affirmations if you don't believe in them? And what's the point of making promises to the people you love the most if you don't believe in them? And my mom, so I remember when I was young and I was in elementary and I got my first A on my paper, and we stayed around a corner. So I ran home. As soon as them doors opened, that bell rang, I ran home to show my mom I got my first A, Doc. And as I turned the corner, there's a lot of people in front of our house. I'm like, I didn't get the memo that we was having a party at home. As I get closer, I had to, push through the crowd because I'm a little boy at the time. Come to find out we getting evicted. Now, eviction is a little bit different now. They gave you your notification, and you got to go to court, and then you get a month to notice. And back then, they would just throw your stuff out in the middle of the street. So as I'm coming home, I'm running to my mom to show her this A that I have, and we're getting evicted. I'm crying because at this point, Doc, I'm helpless. I'm a little boy, and I remember my mom picking me up. She held me in her arms. I said, Mom, one day I promise you, you'll never have to warn again. And then when I graduated college, I said, Mom, on a big jumbo screen, I said, at the age of 35, I'm going to retire you. And I'm extremely blessed because the route that I'm going on is looking more like 33. So I'm making good on my promise, but the only reason that I'm able to be in this position is because I believe in the ability that I have to become and do all the things that God put inside of me. So if you do not believe it, you will never become it. Point number 3. I got another game for y'all, icebreaker I would call it. Y'all been sitting for a while. Can everybody stand up for me? Can everybody? No money is involved here. See, that's what happens when you give away $20. Everybody else want the rest. Please remain standing if you created goals for 2022. Please remain standing. I'm sure we all created goals. Please remain standing if you review your goals every single day. And please don't lie. It's okay. No judgment here. We better than Planet Fitness. No judgment zone over here, y'all. Oh, look at that. Please remain standing if you can show me your goals in less than 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Everybody have a seat. For all my shiners out there. I keep my goals right here on my phone. Right on my lock screen. Appreciate you. Just clap it up for these two right here who can show me that goal in 3 seconds. Why is this important? Because you have to become intimate with your goals. There's a lot of people who wrote goals down in January 1, New Year, New Me. June 11, 6 months in, you don't even remember what the first 3 goals are. But I keep mine on my lock screen because it checked me before I check a message. It checks me before I check Instagram, before I check an email, before I check anything that can take my focus away from what I'm supposed to be doing. So when people say, man, you're always busy. Yeah, knocking these goals out. So I'm encouraging you all today to make sure that you don't just write goals down. Not only do you review them, but you actually become intimate with them so you can see them every single day. I got a mentor. Every time he go out and speak, he like to dress nice like myself, but he wears a shirt. And on his shirts, he wears T-shirts under his dress shirts. All of his goals are on there. He said, because the ultimate goal that I had was to never leave home without all my goals. And I said, I actually like that idea. Now, I'm not going to do it because you already did it. I just keep it on my phone. But make sure your goal is somewhere close to you. Listen, point number 4. In order to execute at a high level, and understand what I'm telling you all here, I'm not just a speaker. I'm an award-winning international speaker. I'm not just an author. I'm a best-selling author. I'm not the fitness dude. I'm a 2-time award-winning bodybuilder. Execution at a high level. And I believe if we're going to do anything, we should try to be the best at it. Wouldn't you all agree with that? In order to do that, point number 4, you have to start. Repeat after me. You have to start. Why is this important? Leah, the starting point is the stopping point for so many people in life. The starting point is the stopping point for so many people in life. Why? Because the moment you begin to start, we start to compare. Well, I can't do it the way he did it. I don't got as many followers as him. My platform is not as big as his. She know all the people in the industry and I don't. Comparison is the thief of all joy. But here's the thing. You get so caught up in comparing that you forget God has already ordained your steps. God said your steps are ordered and your table is prepared. But you still have to move in that path that he created for you. Your assignment has an alignment for your redefinement. And in order for you to complete your assignment, you got to get your mind, your body, and your spirit together in a line so you can continue to move. Why? Because the table that's prepared for you, you got to share some things on your journey. Oh, y'all think I'm lying. How many people remember their first love? Oh, you probably don't even talk to them no more. Let's be honest. But at one point, you thought they was going to be here forever. You couldn't do life without them. Now you live a life where you're like, I don't even know why I gave that joker a chance. And if that's not enough for you, how many of y'all remember your last love? My sentiments. My sentiments exactly. But you have to start. But while you're walking in your purpose, while you're walking in your journey, I want to give you all this. Because God don't only order your steps. He orders your stops. And see, sometimes in life, we get so caught up in God. I want to move. I'm ready to go. Can't nobody stop me. I'm here doing what I'm supposed to do. And God say, be ye steadfast. But God, I'm ready. Stay there. I can handle the big stage, God. Stay there. You can trust me with it if you give me this chance. You said that last prayer. What happened when God is telling you to wait, but you saying I'm ready? And if you're anything like me, I got out the mud. I started selling drugs at 9 years old. My mother didn't even know. And she know now. It's a conversation we're going to have after this. Tucson. In my head, I was taught that it's you versus everybody else. I grew up in the hood. So every time something is coming up to stop me from what I'm doing, you have no idea. I can't stop the grind. Can't nobody tell me what I can't have. God can. Can't nobody stop me from doing what I'm called to do. God can. The rejection is God's protection. And sometimes if you continue to move, you're going to run into a brick wall, a detour, or frustration because you chose not to stop. So God don't just order your steps, he order your stops. But over everything else, you must start. Step number 5, and I'm going to go through these quickly for y'all because I want y'all to get this. This is how you execute at a high level. We're just having a conversation. You must be able to handle the pressure on your journey of becoming the best version of you. The same pressure that makes diamonds is the same pressure that bursts pipes. What are you made of? Because a lot of us are saying, I'm ready for the big stage. I'm ready for the lights. Yeah, the lights are bright, but they also blinding. Can you handle the pressure of being the boss? Everybody wants to be the CEO. Until they realize you got to handle all of the criticism. You got to handle all of the slack. I had a mentor, he taught me this. He said, Keyon, when I became the president of my organization, he said, I want to give you this piece of advice. When the organization is doing well, it's a well-run organization. When the organization is doing bad, it's a bad president. I wasn't ready for that type of pressure, Doc. I almost put in my 2-week resignation letter, because that type of pressure scared me. So everybody's going to blame me when it's not even my fault. Whatever it is you're praying for, make sure you start preparing for. Because it comes with pressure. God, enlarge my territory. That's one of the probably most prayed prayers in the world. Enlarge my territory. That means you got to cover more ground. I want to bless millions of people. That means that you got to give more. Are you willing to give your last because of what God told you to do? Even when you don't know when your next dollar is going to come? I've been riding in the car and God said, give it all to this homeless person. But God, it's my rent. I know. But you've been praying for me to increase your financial stability. But would you trust me in your financial deficit? Who am I talking to today? You ain't paying your tithes because the check stopped coming through. But God said, will you have faith in me? But we're praying for more. Just remember that more requires more. You want more money, you got to do more work. You want more success, you got to put in more. You got to put in more stuff. You got to give more. You got to sacrifice more. Point number 6, you must build a team. You must build a team. This is a proven fact. There isn't one sport in this world that's based on individual performance. And I know some of y'all are already challenging me. Yeah, well, you got tennis, Keyon. That tennis player has a coach. That tennis player has fans, has support, has a nutrition coach. Some of us think I can do it all by myself. Anybody in here got that mentality? I understand. We're in a conference league. Ain't nobody going to raise their hand today. Self-made. There's no such thing. Somebody prayed for you. Intercessory prayer is why you're here. Probably from somebody you never even know. Let me be transparent with y'all. In 2019, I went on an 86-stop world tour. It was beautiful. I made the most money I ever made speaking. I got flued out, y'all. First class, 5-star hotels. I was miserable, though. Keyon Clinton was blowing up, but nothing else around me was making sense. I didn't have the best relationships at the time. I didn't have a team at the time. It was just all about me. And I remember praying to God. I said, God, if you send me some help, I change the way I do things. And then I spoke at a swearing in for the youngest state rep in Michigan. A lady walked up to me. She handed me an envelope after I got done speaking. And I'm just talking. She's like, go ahead and open it. I'm like, yes, ma'am. It was a check. It was for $25,000. I can't take your money. She said, boy, shut up. God told me you need help. Let them know, be careful what you consume just because it looked like a good meal. I'm not talking about food. It may be a relationship. It may be a business opportunity. It may look good to you, but that thing can cause a lot of harm to you. And when a fisherman try to pull that fish out of water, two things happen. There's some resistance, and there's plenty of reasons why the fish will want to be resisting that hook, right? Obviously. But I want to give you all two reasons. The first one is whatever this thing is that I caught is trying to pull me out of my element. And the second reason is if I get out of my element, I may die. Some of y'all think I'm talking about a fish. How many relationships we've been in where we got out of character just to fit in? You out of character, but you in their circle. I don't know who I'm talking to right now, but those people you claim to be friends, you don't even feel comfortable being around because you got to put on this character. And if you ever seen a fish out of water, it look crazy. It's flapping all over, doing all the weird stuff, hitting the boat. That's what you look like. Trying to be friends with people that God said they won't even be here in 2 weeks. But you about to sell your soul for a follow, for a like. But I got news for you today. What happens when you throw that fish right back in the water? It go ahead and swim like nothing even happened. I came here to let you know that even if you get out of your element, God will create a way for you to get right back into it if you continue to trust him and you will continue to keep moving like nothing ever happened. That broken heart, that relationship, that layoff, all the financial deficit, none of that's going to matter if you operate in the element that God has ordained for your life. Point number 8. You must plan. If you want to operate and execute at the highest level, you must plan. Doc said it beautifully. But I got something for you, Doc. Without a plan, purpose feels like an accident. Without a plan, purpose feels like an accident. What a coincidence. All of a sudden, I'm just so lucky. That's the language you use when you don't have a plan. God ordered your steps, but you still saying, I'm lucky. Oh, Jesus, who am I talking to? You're not lucky, you're blessed. You didn't run into that thing. God has already orchestrated it to happen. Without a plan, there's no direction. Without direction, there's no drive. Without drive, there's no movement. And without movement, you will never be able to execute at a high level. You don't believe me? Okay, you mentioned Beyonce. I'm like, I don't know if he heard my spiel or he was looking at my notes a little bit today, but I love Beyonce because she's a mastermind in her craft. She performed at Coachella. That's what it's called, Coachella. Am I saying it correctly? Okay. I ain't that hip, y'all. I know I'm 31. I ain't that hip, though. 4-hour performance. And it's arguably one of the greatest performances that we've ever seen. At least that's what the reviews have said. 4 hours. Beyonce prepared 8 months for this 4-hour performance. That's 5,080 hours. 5,080 hours of preparation for the performance. What am I saying to you? Your preparation has to be longer than your performance. Okay. Come talk to them. They not hear me. Your preparation has to be longer than your performance. Game night is 60 minutes. You got all week to practice. Because what are you preparing for? You got to study film. You got to hit the weight room. You got to make sure your meals are right. You got to go out there and run the plays. Why? Because you only get 60 minutes to do it right. Sometimes we getting too antsy. We running out of the preparation phase because we're ready to perform. So make sure that you start the plan and then you continue to move through with it. That's how you execute at a high level. Let's keep this thing going. I got another question for you. In order to operate and execute at a high level, because this is the energy that we're all talking about today. In order to take your story, your message, your voice to that high level, are you willing to suffer before the success? Are you willing to suffer before the success? You can't tell me one person in the Bible that got their crown without the suffering. You can't name me one person that got the title without the torture. Even after Jesus did everything God told him to do, and he did it perfectly, he still had to bear his cross. But Jesus went to the garden like, why me, God? I done did everything you wanted me to do. I didn't waver. I didn't second guess. I did it. But yeah, you still got to bear your cross. What are you willing to lose in order to gain? God told me in August, he said, Keyon, you are about to go through a great season of suffering to become the man I need you to become. And you know, of course, God, whatever you want, God, I'll do whatever you want me to do. He said, great suffering. And then my mom got hit with cancer. And then my dad got hit with cirrhosis of the liver. They say your father's lungs are operating less than 20%. Then my little sister called me. She said, hey, big bro, I have a headache and it's been like 4 days. I said, go to the doctor and get a pill. That's what doctors do. They prescribe you stuff. But call me when you're done so I can know what they prescribe you, right? Because, you know, doctors prescribe you anything these days. I'm getting a call from the hospital. Say, yes, is this Keyon? Yeah, that's me. We just want you to know that we're prepping her for brain surgery. She has a benign tumor on her brain and her optic nerves popped out, so her eyes popped out of her head. Great suffering. All while hosting my very first 1% Better Speakers Conference. Do I tell the speakers I can't do it because my mama got cancer? Because that's more important. God said, are you willing to suffer for your success? Because even in the midst of your suffering, there's still work to be done. You can't throw in a towel on this fight God for you. He'll throw it back. But a lot of us aren't willing to suffer long enough for the success. Why? Because we want success today. But I promise you, it's in the suffering that's going to give you something. The last thing I want to give you on that is when you add something to your life, you subtract something from your life. When you add something to your life, you subtract something from your life. Very simple. Watch this. If I look this way, I can no longer look that way. God, I want to be a better man. Well, you got to stop doing those things that you do behind closed doors, Keyon. I want the world to respect me. Well, you got to tell them why you should be respected. Because you exalting you, Keyon, when I'm the reason. I'm the one. Whenever you add something to your life, you're subtracting something from your life. So make sure you add something that gives you some value, that's making you happy. Because if not, that thing can potentially kill you. I got 2 more points I want to give to y'all. I want you all to ask yourself this question. This question changed my life. When you die, ask yourself, do you want an obituary or a documentary? When you die, ask yourself, do you want an obituary or a documentary? Because see, when they look at that obituary, they can only think about what they've lost. The pain, the hurt. I wish they were here. But in order to have a documentary, that means that you put in a lot of work that bless a lot of people. You've done some stuff to create a legacy that's going to create a future for some people to go further than you. So when I asked myself that question, I said, it's time for me to start changing the way that I move. It's time for me to stop being in the same circles that is not elevating me. We still talking about what we used to do 10 years ago? I remember going to college. They said, Keyon, you changed. I said, yeah, for the better. I'm supposed to go to a better environment, get around better people, change my habits, and then come back being the same Keyon Clinton. That makes no sense. But I'm thinking about legacy. I know we're chasing a bag these days. What about legacy, though? What about your kids? My mentor said, I got 5 generations of children that's going to be taken care of. How many of you got, Keyon? I said, I ain't even got kids. What are we talking about here? But the fact that his mindset was on legacy 5 generations in, and my mindset, haven't even thought outside of Keyon Clinton, made me change the way that I think. Because I started to realize it's bigger than me. It's bigger than me. 2016, as I'm closing, in 2016, I remember praying to God. I said, God, listen, I did this thing called life for 25 years my way. It's only gotten me on my knees praying to you, so I'm going to try it your way. December 1st, 2016. And see, we got this notion where if we surrender to God, everything it gets brighter for us. Sunny skies, millions of dollars in the account. Friends are just the best friends in the world. And I said, I remember December 1st, 2016. December 12th, my mother was at work. I'll never forget it. A white man knocked on my door. He had on a white t-shirt, some jeans, and a cowboy boots. Now, mind you, we in the hood, so I already know he out his element. I don't know who this brother is. I'm thinking he lost Doc. Let me give him some direction before he gets stuck up, because he clearly don't know where he's at. He knocked on the door, say, yeah, is the tenant here? You're looking at it. How can I help you? So I said, are you lost? He said, no. I just want to let you know that your landlord wasn't paying the back taxes on the house, so I just bought this house in auction. And I'm like, okay, you drove to the hood to tell me that? You must be out your mind. Go talk to the landlord. That's the one who need. He said, no, I just want you to know that you and whoever else live here got to be out in 2 weeks. Remember you came home, and I was sitting on the couch. She had a good day too. I said, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. But in 2 weeks, we got to get up out of here. December 25th, 2016, while the world was singing jolly songs of Christmas, my mother and I was moving out in a blizzard with nowhere to go. Now, at the time, I'm an electrical engineer. I'm getting paid about $85,000. I'm like, Ma, don't worry. Give me like 7 days. Detroit got all abandoned houses. I'm going to buy us about 3 houses in the next week. We'll be good. 6 months later, we still homeless. Getting weary. Getting weak, losing confidence. Then it happened, June 9th, 2017. I got the house, signed the lease. I went in that joker, I started praying. I'm shouting, God, you said that if I be steadfast and if I believed in you, that if I continue to pay my tithes and stay faithful, you will never leave me nor forsake. I'm saying my favorite scripture. What'd you say, Leon? I can do all things, right? 2 weeks later, June 23rd, I come home, the door open, they stole everything I had. TVs, jewelry, clothes. I just want to take y'all through the 6 months of being homeless. Getting my very first house. 2 weeks later, I come home, everything gone. I'm mad as hell. God, we got to talk. This conversation, I went to God as if he owed me something. Let's talk about this, God, because I stayed true to you for 6 months. You let somebody run up in my house? At least let me be here, because I'm carried and licensed and I'm ready. You don't know how many people it was, Keyon. You could have lost your life. Be grateful. And I went to the word. I said, I need some word, because the words that I'm saying clearly ain't the energy I need to put out here. Then I came across Philippians 4. Do everything without grumbling and complaining. God got jokes, I see. Okay. I didn't call nobody that day. Because if I was going to call them, all I had to do was complain, All I was going to do is be mad. 2 more months of being homeless. Listen, this is 8 months of being homeless in 2017. I'm staying with my brother, and me and my brother like this. But you know what happens when you overstay your welcome? They start giving you these subtle hints. And I love my brother to death, but it's like, hey, stop being too loud texting. Come on, bro. They give you those hints without telling you you've been here too long. So I'm in and out of there. I'm you know, we have friends until you need them. You have people that say, call me whenever you need me. Then when you need me, they ain't answering the phone. I went through that season of my life. And I remember being in my car because on one end, I'm going through hell. And on the other end, my speaking career started to take off. I spoke in front of a stadium of 40,000 people. Got a standing ovation. And the whole time in my mind, I'm thinking about where am I going to sleep at night? I need you to understand the space I'm in. Sold out stadium, homeless. And I was in my car, I said, God, I said, I don't understand the space that I'm in. But if I can just get a little bit better every day of my life, I'll be satisfied. He said, you don't understand that you're chasing the big stuff, that you're forgetting about the small things. You wake up every day, breathing. I'm giving you the funds to eat every single day. I'm still putting you in the position of walking your purpose. I told you to walk away from your job, but you didn't want to do it. So I had to push you into this space. You speaking, you're doing what I told you to do at the age of 9 years old. I said, God, but if I can just get a little bit better every single day, and in the midst of being homeless, in the midst of my lowest vulnerability, God planted 1% better in my spirit. I didn't know that I had to go to that valley. I didn't know that I had to lose every single thing in my life for him to birth the greatest thing that I'm known for, my message, my movement. Every single day that you wake up, ask yourself, how can I get at least 1% better today? Mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, emotionally, whatever it is, whatever it takes, just sacrifice and execute. Because if you start today, 1 year from now, you would have increased the efficiency in your daily operation by 365%. 15 minutes is 1% of your day. Now, if anybody gonna raise their hand and tell me they don't have 15 minutes to add intentional value to who they are, who they're becoming, I'm gonna tell you, you living backwards. The president of the world that's running this whole world got 15 minutes. Why don't you? Oprah has 15 minutes. Beyonce has 15 minutes. Whoever it is you idolize, whoever it is that's your role model, have 15 minutes to add intentional value to their life. Why not you? This movement that God planted inside of me has taken me over the world, has blessed me to create my own entities. And now I'm in a position where today I can help other people get 1% better and finding their voice and creating these inspirational messages to continue to bless the world. What am I saying to you? That thing that God has inside of you is going to cost you something. Are you willing to pay the price? Because we all got to bear our own crosses. I hope each and every one of you all enjoyed yourselves today. I hope you got a word from one of these speakers that planted themselves inside of you today. I cannot thank you all enough for showing up, because you could have been anywhere else in this world, but you decided to spend it with us. To our team, everybody, I appreciate y'all. Listen, my team is amazing. They trust me. They support me. Can we clap it up for my team? Because I'm not the easiest to work with. I'm the best. See? I'm the best. All right, now we talk about that at our team meeting. But I just really want to thank each and every one of you all for coming out today. We cannot do this thing called life alone. And the reason why we're here today, because it is our ministry. It is our ministry. Leah, I'm extremely grateful for you. Let's clap it up for Leah. She do a lot. The enemy say, Lord Jesus, God said, the wealth of the wicked will be given to the righteous. The wealth of the wicked will be given to the righteous. And that's how Leah and I met. In a wicked situation. And God said, I see something in both of y'all. And the only reason that I was in that situation and she was in that situation was for God to connect us. And there's some people that you like, man, I don't want to go in that meeting. I don't want to talk to them folk. I don't want to deal with them knuckleheads. It ain't about them. There's some people on that side that them knuckleheads are talking to that need to hear from you. I appreciate y'all so much. Give yourselves one more round of applause, please. Leah, come on up here. As we are wrapping this thing up, I do want to give y'all this before we get out of here. Number one, don't leave without saying hi and connecting with somebody you don't know. You have no idea who is your opportunity or the relationship you need to take you to that next level. That's number one. Number two, I want to leave you all with something that we're doing, and I'm going to have Leah close this joke out for us. She wasn't ready for that thing. We've been blessed to create something. It's called the 1% Better University, where we help you build your professional portfolios. In order to win and execute at a high level, you got to look like you're worth it. Your stuff has to be in order. Your structure, your systems, your strategy, it has to be in order. And in our university, we take you through a process where we get everything that you need done in order to win and go to that next level. I meet people all over the world. Keyon, I want to get 1% better. I want to make more money. I want to take my business to 5, 6, 7 figures. Well, without coaching, it's impossible to do it. Everybody has a coach, even Jesus did. But we ain't even gonna go down that road. Everybody needs a coach, a trainer, a leader. You think I'm lying? When you was born, you was birthed to what? Parents. Then we went to school and we got what? Teachers. Then you found your coaches. At what point in the world did we get so arrogant to where we feel like we can do this thing called life without coaches? Our team would love to coach you and help you go to that next level. We cannot do it without you. So for everybody in this room, y'all gonna get a lovely email. And because I'm in a blessed spirit, we're gonna give y'all about 20, 30% off. So we can bless y'all and help y'all go to that next level. But again, I just wanna say thank you all for coming out. Make sure you come out here, take some pictures with our speakers, connect with our speakers, get all of the information you need. Come say hi to me, come learn about whatever it is that we can help you with. Do not leave empty-handed. And these seeds that's been planted, now it's your turn to water them things. It's your time to nourish them things, all right? So thank you all, I appreciate it.